Hey, it's Cody, and thanks for listening to the Mama's Den. Now, y'all know Black is beautiful, Black is love. It can be seen 365 days a year, 24/7, and mamas know Target is here for all of it. Black Beyond Measure is Target's year-round campaign that celebrates and elevates the spectrum of Black love and success. From the multitude of commitments and investments in the Black community to supporting HBCU students and uplifting Black entrepreneurs. Shop Black-owned or founded brands at Target, from home decor and candles to beauty, wellness products, and so much more. Surround yourself in joy and amplify your Black love with the help of the Black-owned and founded brands at Target every day. Visit target.com/blackbeyondmeasure to learn more.
Hey, it's Ashley Chia, and this is the Mama's Den.
Hey.
What's up, ladies?
Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
So I wanted to talk to you about something that I've kind of been going through with Amira lately. She's 12 now, and I've built my brand off of our family and taking photos and sharing about my parental experiences. And now she's in a space where she's like, don't take a picture of me. I don't want to be a picture. Did you post me on her page? I had to block like 3 of her friends because every time I block somebody, she'll come to me and be like, did you post my picture? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I don't let her get on Instagram unless she's posting something and I make her get right off. Like she's not allowed to scroll. I just feel like that age is not a good age for social media at all. The other day she came up to me and she was like, all I did was post a video of us at the dentist.
Wait, the way you just said all I did, like you the child, all I did.
That's how I feel because she came up trying to check me. She really came in a room. Her friend screenshot the picture and was like, are these I saw your teeth on the social media.
Oh, yeah.
I was so mad. First of all, her little friend, Jesus.
Okay.
I'm gonna let it go. It's a child. But I really, first I was like, well, you don't need to be friends with somebody that's trying to play you this, like send screenshot and stuff and I was like, and your friend had braces too. So like, what does that mean? Her teeth were messed up too. So what are we talking about here? And it was just a rendering for her to get Invisalign. So I had a whole moment with her and then I'm like, it's still her body. It's still her, her presence. Like she has a say so. But I'm also like, this is what I built my brand on, my family. And then I'm just going to act like I don't have a whole child and just the little kids. So it's just been really hard for me trying to figure out like how to include her, but also her having boundaries, but she's still a child. And sometimes children should have boundaries, but sometimes they just say stuff. You know what I mean? Like their boundaries are built off of their feeling in the moment. And it's not always like a well thought out, you know what I mean?
Part.
Yeah. So there's like a balance between like respecting your child, but also doing what you know is best. And I'm like, okay, well, I also pay for your friend to fly here and her mama, and I bought their plane tickets. And like, where do you think that money comes from? From me like posting on social media and sharing our family. That's how I get paid. So I'm trying to get her to understand that, but also like understand boundaries, you know what I mean? But then I also equally regret posting my children on social media a lot. Like sometimes I wish I would have built my brand in a different way just because people are really weird. They feel entitled. I get really creepy messages, like people calling my kids their internet nieces and nephews, which sometimes is cute, but sometimes people feel like they really have like
ownership.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they just say things that like are a little off-putting to me. You know what I mean? Or like they have opinions where I feel like, well, I really don't know you in real life. Like, relax. But then I'm like, I put all my business out there.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if you guys ever feel like you regret or having those issues with posting your family, like sharing it on social media.
I actually have questions.
Absolutely. I say yes.
Okay. So my first question for you is, why did you what was y'all's understanding of her getting on social media? Because you letting her post but not scroll, and I'm just really curious. Because you got the oldest child among us.
So Amira really wants to get into modeling and directing and acting, and she draws. She's like really, really dope. She's a dope really artist. Yes. And so she really wants to start selling. Has an NFT coming out. And she wants to start selling her artwork. So for me, it's like, obviously social media, like that's easy. I'll let her like share, but I just don't feel like it's healthy.
Yeah.
You know, I had to like get rid of, I had a block Pinterest. She has 1 minute on Pinterest. Like I put a
60
timer on there.
seconds.
That's it. Like I don't know how corrupted you can get in 1 minute, but I'm sure a lot. But it's like by the time you get into it, it's like time's up. But I got rid of TikTok. It's just not. She's a little girl of color, and there's just all
not
white
filtered.
women. No,
it's not. The internet is not filtered.
Pushed to popular, especially on TikTok. It's usually just white girls with blonde hair. I don't want her comparing herself to that and then thinking I need to look like that in order to be famous or popular.
Or to dance like that. Let's talk about them dance moves. I'm like, why y'all keep dancing like this?
Yes.
I'm like, peace, do not watch that, baby.
what I
Just
told her.
do what you do, girl.
Yes, and they subconsciously, we do that as adults.
Yeah.
You start to change yourself a little bit and try to mock what you're seeing online or what's being celebrated. She's so dope. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Like you are an original. Like don't let that infiltrate you.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's really scary. But that's why I just let her post, because I want her to be able to make money. You know,
Yeah,
that one
yeah,
girl?
no, I totally understand.
She can make some millions off her NFTs.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword.
And
I
you
feel
would,
that same way. Like Peace is she loves to dance. And so she's watching, it's basically the kids YouTube, but kids YouTube, when you put it on your phone, it scrolls as though it's like a TikTok.
Yes.
So she's just seeing like dances and stuff, and it's way more filtered. I don't mind her on that because it's like literally just kids dancing. But she's like, Mom, download TikTok. I'm like, girl, no. Because it's not filtered.
No.
I'm like, you never know what you're going to see once you're scrolling, you know? And I've had to tell family members too, like she is not allowed on social media.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. She doesn't mind that we post. Sometimes she'll be like, Mom, do you think we should share this with Instagram? And then there's other times she's like, please don't put that on there. I'm like, all right, I feel you, girl. Like, what am I,
you know what I just thought about? Now, I mean, this is just like being mindful of that, right? Before me and you got close, I don't even know if you remember this. I saw your daughter with your mother-in-law or their father's mom, whatever, and at this party, found myself almost going up to her, speaking to her. And I had to be like, girl, that is a child. She does not know you.
Yeah.
Like, I know her mom, but like,
yeah.
I think I texted you and was like, I saw your daughter. It was some shoe event and she was there. That's probably why people feel that way.
Yeah,
Like when you share and you start to like follow someone and you feel close to them and they're sharing. I've had people go up to my daughter and my mom. Like this happens all the time. On the plane, my mom told me this girl got on there and was like, oh, Amira. And my mom was like, she was like, I don't know you. And she was like, I follow your daughter. She was like, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I don't know you. Like, I don't feel comfortable with you talking to my grandchild. And they'll come up to her, they'll come into Amira and just say her name. And I had to have a whole talk with her. Like, just because people know who you are does not mean that we know them and that they're safe and that you can speak to them. So now I have like strangers out there knowing all of my children's names, knowing what they look like, knowing their interests, the things they do that are funny and not, which is cool to share. But then on the flip side, it's like people feel hella entitled to be like just a part of your life. So,
and not just entitled, but like the most sinister of it is the dark thought of like someone really being like, oh, hey, you went to Disneyland last week or whatever they saw. And your child thinking that they
know you.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the dark
way to build trust.
Yeah. Double-edged sword, like you said.
My brother, it's interesting. My brother is like he loves technology. He's a tech nerd, loves it all, loves everything. Loves technology so much that he loves how smart algorithm of programs are, right? But he recently, in recent years, decided to remove his social media, and his page was him, and he has 3 daughters, and he took it all down. And I remember being like, "Yo, what happened? Like, why'd you get off the face of the planet?" And he's like, "Because it's not my decision to choose if I put my kids out there." He's like, "They are now going to be adults." He was like, "I don't want their faces from birth till old being on the internet." And I was like, "Whoa, I never thought about it like this." But he was very deliberate with it, and he removed everything.
Oh wow.
And I was like, dang, I never thought about it. Now his daughters are 16 and 14, his 2 oldest ones. They have Instagram, but they just got on Instagram.
Yeah.
They actually never had a desire to be on social media, which I actually loved. Like my nieces, I'm just like, please stay this way forever. But they, he wanted it to be their decision, and it gave me something to think about. And me being a singer and having a following and people knowing me and also being happy for me for where my life has progressed to, because, they think I was going to sing It Kills Me Forever, but love does come through. But, like it is a double-edged sword, and it's a very fine line. And I found that same thing would happen. Like when I first had Cameron, it was such a big part of now my new life and identity that we'd be out on the street and people would be like, we saw Cameron before we saw you. And I'll be like, whoa, girl, he's a baby.
Yeah.
We're gonna chill. Yeah. But it is something to think about. I personally, with Cameron, he doesn't go on social media at all. He likes to sometimes watch like puppies. So I'll pull up like a puppy page on Instagram, and even then we're like, we'll watch the puppies. But he tries to act like he knows what TikTok is about. But I'm like, you don't have TikTok. You're never gonna be on. I don't even let him watch YouTube. So it is a fine line, and it becomes how much of the game do you play?
Yeah.
How much does it play you? It's very, very hard living in a digital world where your marketing, your access, your audience, everybody is reachable through this. And then also the transparency of what it is. You're a mom, like that is your brand.
Right.
So, showing your kids is a part of it. I don't know. It's really tricky. I have a very, very difficult love-hate relationship with social media as an adult.
Same.
So, so yeah.
Hey, it's Cody, and thanks for listening to the Mama's Den. Now, y'all know Black is beautiful, Black is love. It can be seen 365 days a year, 24/7, and mamas know Target is here for all of it. Black Beyond Measure is Target's year-round campaign that celebrates and elevates the spectrum of Black love and success. From the multitude of commitments and investments in the Black community to supporting HBCU students and uplifting Black entrepreneurs. Shop Black-owned or founded brands at Target, from home decor and candles to beauty, wellness products, and so much more. Surround yourself in joy and amplify your Black love with the help of the Black-owned and founded brands at Target every day. Visit target.com/Black Beyond Measure to learn more. What adjustments do you plan to make, if any, right? You, Melanie, and Felicia, but also Ashley, what have you decided, right? With Amira and her basically monitoring your...
I mean, if you look at my page, you don't see that much of her anymore. Like rarely do you see me post actual pictures. If you see one, it's with all of us together, like a family, like we were out. So I've tried to just really respect that unless I really like need her to be in something. But I also pay her. I pay Amira. I pay all of my children. Yeah. I mean, not because it's just a tax write-off, but also because...
Gem dropping.
Can't you make them employee?
Yes, they are. Okay, that's why I said not because it's just a tax write-off.
Yes.
But no, your children, but they really are. They're working. Yeah, they're working. So I'm like, I should pay them for that. Like they have to get dressed the same way I do, create content. So it's easy for them to also feel valued and understand the value of it, that it is just work and it's not like real life. Like I'm like, well, we're going to take a picture and Azara, my Virgo baby, she'll be like, okay, so how much am I getting paid for this? And she be asking to see her banks. Can I see my bank statement? Like, first of all, I'm gonna need you to not. Yeah, she's very serious.
She's a Virgo.
Did you deposit my money in my account, Mom?
5.
She's 5.
Yes. Okay.
She's 5.
Confirm.
Yes. She was going around. Even this morning, Asia was like, "Mommy, can I have some money like Azara?" She was like, "Give her paper money too." Not.
We don't do coins. We don't do change.
She said, "Make sure you give her paper money." I was like, "I'm done with both of you." But yeah, no, I definitely have. You can tell I don't post Amira as much, and I try really hard not to put them in a lot of my posts unless it's really like a children's product or something. But it just sucks because I think they're so dope. But I'm like your brother said, like you have to protect them. Thinking about when you said that, I was like, oh my God, like their pictures from childhood to now, like that is all online from
but
Facebook
it's not
to
just
Instagram.
You. It's everybody. Like everybody does
but
this,
it's scary.
It's scary. I mean, it's scary. I think it's all uncharted territory where we're going now. It's this new virtual world. You know, like it's a different thing. It's interesting when you said like what boundaries do you in place. So, being in this space of social media where my brand is not just on stage anymore. It's now on a platform. I got a call from my agent in regards to a brand deal, which was very, very generous. It was a very generous offer to do a brand deal with a company, but it involved Cameron. And it involved a brand and a conversation that I had to think about him in 10 years. Because I'm like, this might work right now, but in 10 years, how are you going to feel about being a part of a campaign that talks about this? So I had to make the decision and I had to turn it down. And it sucked. It sucked to have to turn it down. But I truly believe all money isn't good money. Yeah. Truly. Sure. And I have to be my child's first line of defense. And so that's a boundary for me that I do set where it's like, in an influencer time, in a social media time, there's just certain things that I will say, yes, he can participate in and certain things that he will not because I'm thinking about him as a future. And I think to your point, that's Ashley, too, is that when your kids come to you and express, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, that's kind of when you really have to take note and say, okay, I'm going to have to start shifting and pivoting a little bit differently in the way that I create content.
If you see Amira, know she approved it because she and her little friends but keep getting blocked. But it's funny you said I actually did that too with it was like a period product. And I was like, I'm not about to be talking about her period on Instagram. Like, show everybody, I would have died. Right? Are you serious?
Right.
If my mother did that, like, no.
right,
And I'd be
no.
like that. But that sometimes, that coin, it's a good coin.
The coin, it shines for a reason.
Yes, honey.
It dangles.
But I said, my daughter, she's definitely gonna be the child that writes a book about me and says she's in therapy because of me. She ain't gonna be on no podcast talk about me in like 12 years. Like, no, we'll sit with her little sister friends. Like, yeah, my mom, her and Cameron doing a podcast.
Girl.
Yeah, when they did that,
Remember
when
the time they posted that picture when I lost all my teeth? That was whack.
Yeah,
Right.
sad. But what about you? Because everybody loves Peace and Zen.
Yes.
Do people ever like send you weird messages or just have input, parental input? Because that is like the thing that really gets me.
I don't feel like I get a lot of parental input, but they definitely feel like they're like internet aunties, uncles. And then, like I said, it's like, we did this to ourselves.
Yeah.
But see, Peace is a little bit different because Peace wants to work in entertainment.
So
She's just like, I like it,
Right.
But I still, it's funny because a lot of people say, you share so much online. I'm like, but I really share like such a corner of my
Right.
life.
Yeah.
But that's enough for people to feel like they know
It's a lot,
you.
boo. I mean, like,
Yeah.
even that corner feels like a lot.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's like a whole land over
Yes.
here, And so I try to be mindful of like what I'm sharing of them is very light. I don't really share too many like deep stories as much anymore because I was like, I could like, I don't know, not water this down, but what's that word?
Diluted? Water?
Yeah,
down?
dilute.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I guess, yeah.
Dilute it.
I'm like,
I said
yeah,
dilute. Is it dilute?
Dilute. That's what you said.
I said dilute.
You said it like you was from Texas.
Water
Dilute
it, dilute it.
You want to dilute it?
Toted and boated. Girl. But yeah, and I think if Peace or Zen was like, I don't want to do it, I'm gonna be like, okay. Because I respect them as humans. And it's like, you gonna come in here frowning and stuff. So if you gonna mess with my picture, bye. Like you could go over there. They know it now. I'm like, do you want to do it or do you not want to do it? So you want that toy? Okay, so this is what you have to do. Like a good one is if Barbie sends Peace something. And she's just like, I just want to play. I'm like, yeah, but they just gave you like hella Barbies. You gotta say thank you.
Yep.
Like we have to do this in some way.
Right.
She's like, okay. So when I break it down to her, she has a better understanding. But there's times that she's like, I don't want to do it. I'm like,
Okay. I'll just
"Don't
take a
do it."
picture
But
of the back of
she
your
gets
head.
over it because she always wants something.
What about you? Because those twins are like,
I'm sitting
big
here like
draw.
I have so little to say because I don't have to, right? Like I'm not influencer status. I'm not like there's no requirement for me for sharing them, but they are like such a part of my life. I'll tell you why I share them because I went back and forth about it. But early pandemic, I remember Brooks and I watched Coco while the twins were sleeping. And then the twins they woke up and I brought them downstairs at the end of the movie. And there's like the song playing. And of course you're just crying. And the twins sat on the couch and they like rubbed Brooks's head. And it was also, I think, post, George Floyd's murder. And we were just all in the dark place. Yeah. And I posted them like rubbing Brooks's head. And so many people were like, this just brought a smile to my face. And it made me feel so good that they made people smile like that.
Yeah.
And that became my, like, not excuse, but like the thing that made me like, you know what? When I'm hesitant, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. It makes me feel good. It makes people feel. So that's still sort of my rationale in addition to the fact that it makes me happy.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't have to. I don't have to.
But I think it is important because I feel that way too. I think it's really important to see, especially Black women, being loved, being happy, like having the relationships that they have with their children, you feeding your children healthy foods and, like them eating sushi and rice. It's like, that's so important for people to see us existing.
I agree
That's
with that.
honestly why I became an influencer. Like when I started my blog, it's because when I got on Instagram, there was just like just weren't any Black moms.
None at all.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, what
Right.
do you mean this is motherhood?
Yes.
Something ain't right here, y'all.
Exactly. And they're getting, and I would see them get paid to do posts for stuff like, I pack my kids' lunches, I cook them home cooked meals, I garden, I do all of that. So that's why I wanted to share that because I'm like, I want people to see that Black women are existing in this space every day.
And are
that Black
fantastic
children,
mothers, child.
trauma-free Blackness,
Yes.
right? Black children thriving and being happy, especially in my case, boys.
Yes.
Like that's what I wanted to show or share, right? Because that's our reality. Right. And so it makes me really happy. But I do, like I said, I do go to that dark place every once in a while of like somebody just being like, oh, hey, Brooks.
Yeah. Well, that is going to happen because it happens to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I prepare myself though for that conversation with him of like, there's going to be people who know who you are,
Right.
but you don't know them, and mom and daddy don't know them, and then, you know, so I think about that a lot. To me, it's just preparing myself for these conversations.
It's new.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, stranger danger was one thing when we were growing up. It's like, I don't know you. I never seen you before. Bye. Yeah. But now people come with information.
Yeah.
There's a paper trail of things, you know?
Yeah.
It's a little jarring. It's a little scary. I think that, you know, having the open dialogue and the conversation is really important. And I think knowing your setting boundaries for yourself as the parent and the content creator. Like I said, not all money is good money.
Yeah.
Not everything you have to share online.
Right.
You know, thinking about your children's future and who they might want to become.
Yeah.
And, you know, people going back and saying, well, when I saw you, you look like this and you didn't look like this. Now when you're older, what did you do? You know, people pull receipts on people all the time because everybody wants to be an internet sleuth. But at the same time, and I can honestly say that from one thing that I've done in my career, as far as people recognizing me in places and creating boundaries for myself, the way that I approach my life, and this has always been the way that I approach my career, I've never done things for fame or notoriety or like, you know, like for the draw, call the paparazzi and blah, 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 or like not talk to people and create. Like, I like people to look at me like a person.
Absolutely.
Yes, I have a brand. Yes, we've had the accolades. Yes, we've done this and I've done a lot of cool things, but I'm a human being at the end of the day. And so what I appreciate is that by setting that tone in the way that I approach people and the way that I carry myself, people also respect me as a person.
Yes.
They don't look at me as this like foreign, like I have to get a piece of it because it's unattainable. No, I'm here. I'm at Whole Foods, but back up. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
for real.
Back up.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you can create those boundaries for people to say, oh no, like she's not the one to play with. Just like you said, like, I'm not going to run up on her kids.
Right.
And then having that conversation with your children to say, hey, like you said, just because they know you doesn't mean we know them.
Yeah.
I think it's really all in how you set the tone.
I was about to say, the way that you set the tone is like so important.
I think one big tip that I would give people too is to never post stuff, especially with your children, while you're there.
While you're there,
after.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody, there was a meme
Couple
like
days
this week.
after.
If I posted where I am, I've already left.
I'm not
No,
there.
but a lot of
Yeah,
times, you know,
heck
like if you
no.
do your stories, sometimes
Yeah.
like I'll post my stories and then I'm like, oh, like this is live. You know what I mean?
Y'all,
Usually
I'm
it's
the
live.
worst influencer for that reason. When we went to Turks and Caicos, even though we didn't even have them kids with us, I was like, well, I don't want to post, and then people know that we are
You're
there
away.
and the kids are over
Yep.
here. So I was
no,
just
right. You
I
can
was
think
just
like
posting
that.
3 days later.
No,
3
that's
photos.
smart. That's so
Yes.
smart. No, and I don't think a lot of people realize that though. Like, because that's not even if you have kids as women, when you're
Yeah.
traveling and you're alone or you're just you and your homegirl, like you don't want people to know where you are in that moment. Cause my sister did that. She was like at a bar and I was like, oh, no. And she took it down. I was like, girl, you got to post
Yeah,
that. Like, no, somebody, because she said somebody texted her like, oh, I'll come up there or not, like DM'd her. And I was like,
no, unless they cute.
I
She's
remember my
single.
mom did that
I'm
one
all
time.
for, strong relationships.
Yeah, we were. I think we were in Vegas or something. Yeah, we were in Vegas, and we had peace. And she like posted the hotel and like tagged the thing, and I was like, "Mom,
God.
I know that I'm just your daughter, but I'm like, but there's thousands of people that are watching us, and this is where we're sleeping, girl." I'm like, so now she knows. I'm like, Ma, get the streets out of there, like
Yep.
taking the PR. I'm like, Ma, you can see the zoom in on the address in the back. I'm like, every little thing.
Yeah.
yes,
Like,
people do that.
when I'm running, I intentionally run like this so you can never see the streets behind me.
Smart.
And even
Yeah.
if it's a bar, I'm like, damn, that was a bar, but you can see the streets in the back.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't want you to know where I do anything.
Yeah.
That's
like,
smart.
at all.
Yeah,
Whew,
it's a lot to
scary.
think about, and we got to
It's a
check
lot.
the mamas and we got to check the babies, and the
Yeah.
babies got to check us eventually. That's what I learned today. Because my 5-year-old gonna be 13 real quick.
Listen, it's going to happen before then, just so you know, because Brooks is like a little baby
I know,
genius.
Genius,
girl.
right?
Right.
All your kids are geniuses.
Your kids are going to basically create the new platform,
Right.
which creates the privacy.
Listen, it's
Privacy
not a
factor.
joke at all.
No.
They're
All right,
wild.
ladies. Well, hopefully you got some good tips to be safe and a lot of things to think about. I think overall
Yep,
is
yep.
to do what's best for you and your family, but make sure that you're being safe about it and probably like less is more.
Ooh, that's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Well, we will talk to you ladies and fellas later. That's the Mama Sin.
Bye.